Today we're introducing a new segment we're calling Good Take, Bad Take. We've seen every NBA team for at least one game so far, and it's hard not to have random thoughts come into your mind. Whether or not you believe them, I don't know. So what we're going to do is give some takes that we maybe don't necessarily believe in, but crossed our mind over the last 48 hours of watching hoops. Who wants to throw the first one?
I'll go, because I think mine may just be a little longer. This is not team-oriented specifically, but this came across my mind. Unless you are a bottom-feeding team going into a rebuild or still in the first phase of a rebuild, first-round picks are overrated. And the reason I'm saying that is because we see a lot of teams in this middle pack or, in the playoff push, and they are very reluctant to spend those first-round picks on talent. Like y'all had the Walker Kessler conversation about first-round pick. Will Richard played meaningful minutes last night for the Warriors like he did in the first game against the Lakers.
Yep.
Talon Peter played meaningful minutes for the Pacers. Brooks Barnhizer has played in both games for OKC. A.J. Mitchell was arguably the second best player on OKC, and if it wasn't him, it was Aaron Wiggins. Ryan Kalkbrenner is the starting center for the Charlotte Hornets. Jamal Shead played significant minutes for the Raptors and was starting point guard last year. Jalen Wells is heavily featured on the Memphis Grizzlies. A.J. Green for the Milwaukee Bucks. Tamani Camara just got $82 million from the Portland Trail Blazers. That's not mentioning the Alex Carusos, the Naz Reeds. Sam Merrill started for the Cavaliers. Huck Porty was the starting center for one of the most popular franchises in all of sports. So the next time a team is in the middle of trying to push for something and they don't want to spend 2 or 3 first-round picks for somebody who can really take them above market, I'm going to remember this used to be something back in the day that was few and far in between, and we looked at it as an organization thing. The Spurs got an eye. The Heat have an eye. I just named so many players that this is a norm now. If you do your proper due diligence in your scouting department, you can find second round and undrafted talent that can come in and play. And I'll even throw another hot take into the hot take. I think it's a little easier to evaluate for teams when it comes to second round and undrafted. The pressure of the first round lottery picks makes a lot of teams crumble. They overthink it. That's my thing.
I like where your head is at. I would say the counter to that is the reason why teams are so dependent on those first round picks is because it's easier to hit the home run. A lot of those players that you mentioned are complementary, which you need to win a championship. But if you're telling me that with the 16th overall pick, I might be able to hit a home run, then in that case, it's valuable. Even if that 16th overall pick hitting a home run is only once or twice every 10 years, like Şengün, who was, I think, the 16th overall pick or around there.
I'm with you, P, and I've been a big kind of like believer in that for the last few years, and I thought the Magic did a really good example.
Şengün was also one of like 3 first-round picks, and he was the better pick of instead of the lottery one.
Who was that Jabari's year?
Maybe Jalen Green or Jabari.
Okay.
The Magic were a really good example of that, where people were saying that overspent on Desmond Bane, and it's only been a game, but he's looking like he's the perfect fit, and I don't think they were getting anything Desmond Bane was going to bring out of a pick out the draft.
I think that to match that, teams are also afraid to use those first round picks via trade, and to not work out. A good example is your Lakers, right? You throw 2 first-round picks plus some good players to get Brody, and now, you're still feeling the effects of that in 2025.
I think mortgaging your future, being able to control your own destiny is something that a lot of teams want to be able to do. And once you trade all those first-round picks, you kind of don't. Because, if you, for whatever reason, this don't work out, and now you don't have those picks, and now you're in a lottery, that other team is now benefiting from those picks when it's like, damn, I could have actually had those picks. So it's a little give and take, but I really do think it depends on the situation.
Absolutely. The Lakers trade was not a great trade.
Overall, though, I will say, good take, bad take, good take.
I would say good take.
I got one about culture shifters. You think about culture shifters, usually talking about the top end guys, number 2s on teams, yada, yada, yada. I think Dillon Brooks is a culture shifter.
He is.
This is now his 3rd organization where we can say he went into, helped change the defensive identity. Again, we're talking about the Suns on one game, so, but change some of that defensive identity and set the tone. We saw him do that with the Houston Rockets, him and Fred VanVleet become these veterans on the team. And boom, between that, Ime Udoka, they're one of the top 3 defenses in basketball. I don't think the Suns have the ceiling to be a top 3 level defense, or even maybe not even a top 10 level defense. But watching that first game, his defense, his energy is just contagious. And I feel like that's what you need for a culture shifter. Good take, bad take.
No, I think that's a good take. I think certain guys just like bring that energy, and I think Dillon Brooks is one of them. I think when you look at like the Alex Caruso, the Dillon Brooks, or like Drew Holiday, these are like those tough, gritty, get in your face type of defenders. And I think as a team, that kind of becomes contagious. Like now you don't want to let him down, so now you also locked in and more engaged to it. So yeah, there's definitely a big thing with that, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think it's a good take. I'm not even sure if this is a hot take, because I feel like sometimes it's just like the leadership and talent. Sometimes your leader isn't your best player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there are more talented players than Dillon Brooks, but I definitely think the
Don't
mold
tell him that.
of what he brings is definitely more of a culture. Like Zach LaVine, I think we would all say is a better basketball player than Dillon Brooks. But Dillon Brooks would change the culture more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alex Caruso is not as good as a bunch of different players, but yeah, he would bring in the Fred VanVleets, all of those guys.
Yeah.
And the background also means a lot.
Yeah, I would say that's a good take. I mean, he's a really good like lead by example guy on that defensive end, and use the perfect word with contagious. I'll throw one out. Deandre Ayton comes off the bench at some point during the season.
Oh, this is a hot take?
I think that might happen in the next few weeks.
Really?
Well, I mean, I guess the other option is what
Jackson
Jackson
Hayes.
Hayes.
That's
Christian
immediately what my
Coloco.
head
And honestly,
went.
I just think Jackson Hayes does a lot more of what they want. I know Ayton is the better player. Like, he should be the better player, but like, when you talk about
Who's going to
fit,
be more impactful?
yeah, and who's going to do what we want him to do on an every possession basis, it's Jackson Hayes.
I would agree too with Mike, because I feel like if you are going to get more from Ayton at any point, it's going to have to be to take the job away from him.
Yeah.
Which, for whatever reason, a lot of the two previous places he was at, they didn't do.
Because he was making max money. It feels weird to have
There
a
you go.
$40
There you go.
million guy
Yeah, good
come off
point.
the
Good
bench.
point. He's not doing that here.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if you're not going to roll hard, if you're not going to defend, if you're not even going to rebound, which is the one thing that you have no excuse not to be doing, then yeah, I might as well just let Jackson Hayes play. And then all of that stuff you talked about, man, I know this is my last chance. Yeah, we'll make you actually feel that. and JJ Redick is a low patience guy.
Yeah. He's so low patience. Luke had to play 41 minutes in that loss. I can't have 10 minutes without Luke on the court right now. He's gotta be there. Derek, you got one?
Yeah, I got one. If Lou Dort continues to shoot bad this year, that OKC can become vulnerable when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, I don't think this is a hot take either. They definitely can become vulnerable. I think they will be vulnerable. They'll probably still find ways to win because they're great.
I mean, yeah, having 4 overtimes through 2 games is not a good thing.
Yeah.
And shooting 25% from 3 over those 2 games is not a good thing either.
I'm more confused too why they just don't send 2 immediately.
Yeah.
They shade. Don't get me wrong. The last 2 games, Pacers and Rockets have shaded, and they shade off of Lou. And last night they put Lou in a corner, so it's harder to shade and send it to because he'd have to come all the way from the corner.
Yeah.
But I would rotate up. Like I am that you, especially early on. Maybe not in the playoffs, but regular season, I would leave and abandon that corner because I just don't want him to have. He has 55 points.
It's the
51
players that have
point
been too good that just leave one-on-one.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing when Vic was cooking. They barely double teaming the man when he's on an ISO. You just go. Just go at this point.
Yeah.
Just go.
We're willing to let anybody beat us. We're in double overtime. Things ain't going our way. Just don't let him do it.
Yeah.
My next one, I'm done asking Bam Adebayo to do anything more offensively. I talked about this in the group chat with y'all. I'm just over it.
I think I kind of had that ship sail a little bit.
I don't because we literally did the rankings and we all said similar stuff about we just want him to be better offensively. He's like, no, I'm done saying that. He's a great defensive player and a limited offensive guy, and that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
It could still be potentially all defensive guy, but I'm done asking him to be like, we know you can drop 22 a game. Maybe it is just 18 to 20
But
every
what's
single
crazy
season.
is that he has the skills to do it.
That's why, but I'm done. I'm just done asking for
It's
it.
more of a mindset thing, I think.
This is not who he is. It's okay.
Yeah, he would much rather. Hey, Norman Powell out there. Hey, let Norman Powell rock out.
Last one I'm going to throw out there. Steph Curry blinded me last night. It just came across my head watching them in the stretch. We've constructed teams wrong. We always have wanted guys who can kill you off the dribble, isolation, and just give the rock and rock out. Kind of like how Shea is doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing more harder to guard than an off-ball star.
100%.
Having Draymond at the top of the key, you don't know what the hell is about
Can't
to happen.
emphasize on-
Versus having Shea at the top of the key and sending 2, and now, it can slow him down a little bit.
So when Shea's off the ball, you feel a breath of relief when you're guarding him. when Steph Curry's off the ball, there's never
panic.
relief. And if he's got the ball, there's even more panic. So yeah, I completely understand that. Coming up, we starting a new segment we're calling Fan Fridays, where we answer your questions.